Yo, alright, we live yet? Okay, we're live. Okay, we're live. Okay, check it out, man. So I have been into like computer programming and all that stuff since the '80s. I've had a lot of good ideas. A lot of people made billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, not trillions, billions, millions. Ideas I had. I just didn't have a team to do them. This is another one. I don't have a team to do it. I'll probably be making this in a couple years, but I don't want to wait for it. I'm going to tell you how to make your own do-it-yourself gardener drone, and it really isn't that tough. Okay, if you know your trigonometry and everything. Okay, I'm gonna do the upper level concepts, and I'll bring it down to lower level concepts. The idea is, okay, you have a bins. Okay, you have seed. I'm doing this with the cup. So you have your seeds here, and you have like and you have a couple like colored pylons. Say I don't know how big they would be. Some the drone can open CV easily. It's like something like purple, fluorescent, like blue or something, you know. And what you do is I'll be able to things are very bright colors. A thing can you can open CV, basically vision recognition them. I did vision recognition, optical character recognition in like 2001 to make automated video game playing. I don't think anybody was doing it. Actually, no one was really making those things back then. I was selling to people, so mostly like no one had really advanced ones that were like basically optical character recognition things. So here you go. So there you go. There you go. I don't know how to use GIMP. Should know by now. Purple, purple. That'll bleed out. Okay, so anyway, you got these purple balls. Okay, just assume that's closed and stuff. You got these purple balls, right? And what you do is you want to have like maybe like another color for the corners, like of the farm you want to put in, right? Uh, Farm you want to put in, and then I said another color and I put it the same color. So I'm just showing like the basic of it. Basically, what happens is I'll give you that for those who don't know what's going on, or don't think they know what I'm talking about. Basically, what it does is automatically having these balls right here, which you can pick up and drop. It tries to make a polygon, okay? And by making a polygon, it makes GPS local it's not GPS. It makes a local positioning system, right? LPS. I'll say call it LPS, right? All right. So you have these corners. I'm just saying these edge corners. So we can worry about them later. And you have just these random ones here, okay? And then we're gonna go back to what it does. It picks. Let's see, color picker. Does it? I think I have to flatten it. Uh, so color picker here, and then we go back to tools, and then we go. So what happens is, say we pick up one of these, okay? Then go over and just drop it randomly, boom. Because it can drop it like somewhere. You can give it like general coordinates. You can maybe GPS like some these properties instead of just giving these things GPS properties, right? GPS isn't good for like fine grained stuff because it's not there. That's why we're gonna make a system, local positioning system, by which you can do fine grained. You can do more things than farming with local positioning system. You can do you can make like a gaming. Like you could like have an overhead drone that knows your area, like a football field, and it would like know where you're at, right? So if it knows where you're at, then you can put augmented reality over it, and you could be playing like Doom on the football field because it knows exactly where you're at. So anyway, uh, these are very major concepts. Like while local positioning system is awesome, but I'm just showing you that so the drone goes down like this, and once you have a ball or something, you have some sort of like hardware device. We'll make a hardware device here. We'll list the hardware devices. Pick up a ball. Pick up a ball. So you have it. What it does is the algorithm here. I'll save this in desktop under program. Robot. And I've done this. Dude. Like I was like I'm always ahead of the curve. I knew like electric cars would be the thing. I knew robots. Everything you want to do with C3PO robots, Bender robots, R2D2, etc., etc. It can be done already in computer science. You just need vision. I said that back in 2000. I got proof of that. I'll show you that later. But right now we're doing robots. Like these are really easy to theory craft. I mean, like someone out there could legitimately do uh, an LPS, a local positioning system, gardening robot, and you'll get a kick out of this. Like I mean, like I'm sure some people out there will get a kick out of this. So this is like a hardware. We need like a hardware device to pick up a ball, right? It might be like a suction cup, like some sort of like a little vacuum, and go down, or like even it could be like a connector, or even like freaking like I don't know, whatever you want for hardware. like a hook or something, like whatever drone. I think whatever, like a magnet. You know, you could have an electromagnet. You know, you could have an electromagnet go down there, dink, and then it folds it down and goes. We're talking about a flying drone. We have a flying drone. We need to do a flying drone that's modifiable. Flying drone. You don't have to be good at robotics either to do this. So you need you need a flying drone, and then two, let's say, electromagnetic hook. Electromagnetic hook, okay. And then like, okay, so you got like this flying drone electromagnetic hook, and it goes down and hooks it. You know, you might even like, we might even just like, we'll go down the further and go 1A electromagnetic like some sort of, like, I don't know, we're getting complicated now, but like some sort of hook to pick up these devices. Like we're like before we have this electromagnetic hook, we're gonna have lots of stuff that dangles from the bottom of the drone, like it hangs off the bottom of the drone. So you can imagine like a drone comes flying in, say this paper plate is a drone, then these keys are like its general thing, and then it would go down and maybe like get the hook, you know, the electromagnetic hook, and then it got like can't really see here. So like, say like this electromagnetic hook. So you have the dangle device and the electromagnetic hook, then it gets a ball, right? You have a couple of devices that attach to each other. I'm just saying like general purpose idea. I don't know how you would do it exactly, but like, because then you could have, other than the electromagnetic hook, you could have like the cedar planner and stuff. But anyway, I think that would be the long term is general purpose. Like the short term, probably just have multiple drones, right? So flying drone, then tool, advanced tool to grab a hook to grab a hook, right? Anyway. I'm getting complicated, overly complicated. You don't need to know about this. Well, let's say we have an electromagnetic hook that can pick up a ball. Okay, so we're just looking at this. Pick up a ball. Still two. We're just have one drone that picks up a ball, and then like and then what happens is it can pick up and drop a ball. Okay, that's your hardware, right? So like normally with like a robot, it doesn't know where it's at. So you pick it up, and it would just like, you have GPS, and it would just drop it like maybe like right here. Okay. Then we go, okay, I'm going to go back to where I think my balls are, and have the GPS coordinate, and it'll be, oh, there it is, and the OpenCZ would zero it in, and then it would go over here, and then like try and drop a ball, like it would just like GPS guess over here. Then it would drop another ball, GPS guess, like we'll say right here, okay? And then it's going to go up in the air. We'll try and draw a square, we'll say. We'll try and draw a square because it's easier thing. It'll go up in the air, and it'll go, when you open CV, it can like, it can know where this is at, like, so it would be like, this is like this position, like working position, 493, 510, 739, and 738. So it would see this position and be like, you know what, this one's off. So it would pick it up and it would say, oh, it needs to go to the right a little bit more, because it said go to the right a little more, right? You know, so it would draw it and then it would drop it like once again over here, and eventually, you know, you get it kind of like a little square. It would drop it, and then it would go back up and like OpenCV scan it, right? So that's the tip behind LPS, local positioning system. You're probably kind of getting this right now. Now this can be powerful, okay? You can kind of get this where this is powerful because, like I said, if you have a local positioning system, you now have a grid system. The robot can know exactly where it's at in a location. So if your whole farm was like had like little balls like placed down here, and then maybe even like it could be painted on lines or whatever you want to do, you can go overboard on your positioning system. OpenCV is pretty good. You want to just have big bright colors that are different than what's in nature, right? It would find it, and if you say it's purple flowers, you just cut the purple flowers down. You know, I know it sounds terrible. I'm a freaking like I'm like Captain Planet would be against me, cutting the flowers down. You know, I have long hair. I'm a pretty hippie. You know. The hippies advocating cutting flowers down. Don't listen to this man. But anyway, I'm saying like you have these big bright colors, and you can like the drone itself. This is basically the magic of the whole thing. That's the magic of this whole thing we're doing, is that like it does an estimation, right? You got your GPS, and GPS will get you something, and then also you know how many movements and everything, how long you thrust for. You can guesstimate a pretty good square, right? But what happens is after you guesstimate the square, you know, you have your algorithm. Anybody can guesstimate a square. You can do that with with current programming right now. You know, you go have it go out to a certain point, and you just try and do the best you can. It would drop like a gimpy square like this, not a perfect one, right? And this is useless for navigation because like off of that and then off of that, it's basically like if you took your thumb and you drew like a lot of like points and you used your other finger to estimate, and your measurements were off, and then you copy. It's like a telephone game. Like say you try and copy an inch thing and then use that to copy an inch somewhere off, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And eventually it's the measurement's off. It's going to be your navigation going to be completely torqued. It's just analog guesstimation type of like put it out there. And it's not good, right? But like if you have OpenCV on your drone and it goes up in the air, like say your drone's like right here, and it's like it's looking around. It's like okay, oh that one's off too far, right? Then like I said, it would reposition. Oh, sorry. It would reposition this one because by using its hook, and then it would drop it again, you know. And then it happens events. If you, like it would be time consuming for the drone, but like if you're a person, and you have like that's the thing of robotics, you know. It's like it's what makes robotics awesome. It's like what the heck is that you like when you set robots down, they just go and do their own thing. You have to recharge the batteries and stuff on yourself, but like you know, it's like a Roomba. It's like an outdoor Roomba. It's an outdoor gardening Roomba. It'll go ding 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 ding, and once it knows your navigation, like that's the magic. You can do so many things once you know navigation, local positioning navigation. Like you could know how to like mow the lawn, like you know like the areas you can do. Although a drone that has an overhanging like weed cutter, like that's kind of scary. I don't advocate for like automated like aerial death machines. This is not what we're making this product for. So what happens? Okay, so we got our positioning. Let's just say we have these, and then like we're gonna reset this, and we'll say we had a bunch of these blocks, and we'll say they're numerous right now, because like I mean you can make it like so it's less numerous, you know, and still be functional. We don't want to go to edge routing right now. We're just gonna like make a big sloppy, you know, have a positioning system here. It drew out a bunch of squares, you know, and it knows like the terrain, you know, where it can go, right? And even me, I don't draw this perfectly good, you know. This is there, and then be like, I'm really lazy in my circles. Okay, so it has the positioning, right? So now, when the drone goes up in there, it knows its XY coordinates. Do you realize this? It's not. It doesn't just guesstimate because GPS shifts. Like you know, GPS is designed so you can't fire a cruise missile into the Pentagon, right? You can't just fire it right down. You can't like you just can't fire like a little self-driving missile in the security places. It's military. It fuzzes it for a reason, and that's a good reason to do it. I remember when they first came out with GPS, and they were trying to drive automated ATVs. They had lectures of it in Westinghouse when I was in school. And like I was thinking to myself I'll just tell you my musings I had when I was in high school when we were listening to Westinghouse things. I said, you know, you could make an automated ATV. Well, they didn't call it GPS. They were talking about how they were guiding it. Did they call about GPS? They said about like robots, and I thought like you know I think actually you know what they didn't even tell me about GPS. That's right. That's another thing I like basically invented. I basically in my mind GPS was already out. But I theorized a global positioning system based on what their needs for their robots, right? They're talking about ATVs, they're automated driving. This is right around 94, 93. And like they're saying, oh, we have these robot ATVs, but the problem is they get caught in ditches and trees. And open battlefield, they're okay. And I said to myself, like, well, you know, and they said if you go really far away, they can intercept the radio signal and hack you, right? So I'm thinking to myself, well, you know what? If you just had a triangulation, of where the signal's coming from, you could in the timing of where it's at and the position of where it's at on the thing, you could literally you could satellite send commands to it. And then you could manually videotape it and then you could have a person drive it manually like an ATV from far away. And I thought to myself, well, how are you going to get the positioning and location? And I started I was like, okay, you have a satellite from there and a satellite there, and you triangulate it, and then you can have encryption based on like the electromagnetic angle of where the communication vector. And I thought to myself, like, you know, someone could hack it by just flying a plane in between you and them, and then of course you have to have all the security features. But I think, you know, if all you're looking at is the angle, and someone puts a helicopter between you and the drone, and then it can do it. But this is back ATV. This is back before they had flying drones. This was back when they were trying to figure out what's going on, and they didn't even tell us about GPS. And I just invented GPS on the fly. And a couple later lectures they talked about GPS. But I'm just saying that flavor text. There's a lot of stuff I forget I invented, but co-invented. You know, I think it's called simultaneous discovery. But But like, we'll reel back to why it's relevant to this is because with the drift, if you want to plant a seed here, say like, oh, we'll change colors so we like, if you want to say we're going to plant seeds right now, okay, and you want to plant the seeds like almost like spaced apart like nicely, so we'll go green or something, oh, seeds, we'll make them blue seeds, okay, and then you want to make a seed here, a seed here, seed here, seed here, seed here, like kind of like straight down the line, if you want to place them in the same place, right, and spaced out, then you need to know where your position is of the drone. A GPS will not give you that exactness. What will you be here? By the time you put one here, the drift might put it over here, right? The GPS drifts like deliberately, like all this way. It's like fuzzes it. It can be within it can be like off by like, I don't know, like 7 meters or something. Like, I'm not exactly sure, but like you can be a significant drift on GPS, maybe a couple meters or whatever. But like if you get a local positioning system, say the drone goes up in the air and sees this grid pattern, and then it knows where it's at because it knows this drone, this relation to these. By looking down OpenCV, it has a camera is down on a map. It maps this thing to the point where you're at. It's looking at that point, maps to it. You got a local positioning system. It can put exact seeds. It can put exact seeds down there. I can't put exact seeds because like I'm just clicking, right, and I'm missing my thing. But you know what I'm saying? You can put that down. GPS would be like it would be like all over the place. It'd be disgusting. You'd have plants on top of each other. I mean, like, I'm not saying you can't do it, but like. This local positioning system is the main topic behind it, and I'll review how it does it again. So you go out to a field, you mark like the corners. You can mark the corners in GPS, actually the coordinates if you wanted to. You don't have to put like markers down here. And then they could be just for like helping exactness a little bit if you guide the LPS to the GPS, but no big deal. So let's just say you mark the corners GPS right now, just to be lazy. And then you put a bunch of we want to play League of Legends. I gotta finish my lecture. I don't understand. Okay, so all you do is walk out. You have your GPS coordinates. Maybe you might even have something better than a GPS square here. You could have like a polygon of various corners. I'm just doing this for simplicity's sake. And then you come up with like a bunch of purple balls. You put the purple balls on the ground and tell the drone kind of generally where the purple balls are in programming or GPS, and then we'll come over and pick one up. Go over, trying to form a square. Come over here, trying to form a square. This is the analog. You know how they do analog, trying to form a square type of thing, and pick it up, drop it here, over here. So it would combine GPS and also like just how many thrust vectors, Fly over here, fly over there, fly over there. Obviously, you want the wind to go. You wouldn't want to do this on a windy day, and we draw like a gimpy square by just like guesstimating. But then it would fly up. It would fly up in the sky. I'm just telling you how to do LPS many times. So you drop the balls generally where you think a square would be, then it goes up in the air and looks down on OpenCV and reforms a square. You might be able to do it with a triangle. I'm recommending a square because the triangle could be like angled at different angles, and a square has like position north and south and west. Oh, what the heck? He let you. I have a buddy staying over right now. So. Okay, anyway, all right, so there you go. You got it, man. You know what I'm saying? You have a bunch of balls in an area. The drone looks down because it can find a location of like a lot of like empty balls on the ground, right? Because it can you give it the GPS coordinate. They're all over. They're not going to miss it by looking down. So it picks up one, and it drops it relatively like right here. And then it drops it here. And it drops it here, and maybe this one drops like over here. And then what it does is like, it will then after it knows these balls are here in this position, away from you. It will obviously you don't want to do it next to your ball pit, right? Over here. It would go over like far away. So these are only 4 things it sees. It looks down. Oh, that one's off by a little bit, and so it would go down, and then just try and recalibrate it by like adjusting it by a little bit. By you'd have static hard-coded amounts where it would just push it over. Then we'd fly up, look down. Oh, that one's off by a little bit. It can make a perfect square by simply looking down and seeing which one's off. By knowing where these 3 is, it knows what this one's off. Then so you can make yourself a nice little perfect square. And when you make that nice little perfect square, then you can make a square off of that. Or I mean, if you want to make it even easier, you can seed it by starting a perfect square yourself. You put like 1 square, make maybe every 3 meters or something. You make yourself a perfect square. You go down by hand and you measure it off and put a perfect square out. Then could extend the perfect square to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. You can extend the perfect square by picking up the purple balls and sticking them out. And once it sticks down the purple balls, then there you go. There you have it. And you can do this with paint if you want to get complicated. I think painting would probably be easier than picking up and lifting stuff. You know what I'm saying? It comes up, psh, psh, psh. Use some sort of paint that runs off when it rains. You don't want to be tainting the whole ground, making the whole road a football field. But once you have a local positioning system, like I said, you could have this drone go up and say a person's walking. They can know you're basically on a video game surface right now, right? It could draw if it wanted to, and you have paint. You could draw a line. You have to walk on these lines, and because it knows where all the lines are at. If you're playing football, you can play VR football, put an augmented reality helmet on you, which basically is just a pair of goggles. A VR helmet has a camera out the front. The camera pipes what you're looking at on top of you and then superimposes images. You could be playing Doom on a football field. You could be playing John Madden on a football field, playing football on a football field with virtual players, because it would know where your position is. It's a set hike, you'd run back here and you look around and virtually the football players would be there coming at you, right? And then you'd have things the virtual reality controls to throw a ball, and you'd also have you'd have to know where you're turning. You'd have to have some sort of way of knowing where you're turning and throwing. And you can do that probably with OCR a little bit, but you could there's other ways of doing your turning. I think there's they make very advanced compasses, electromagnetic compasses that have for turning. So you can do gyroscopes, things like that. So you can make a football field. You can make a football video game, like augmented football video. You can go literally out to your football field, or probably the high school would not like that, but you can make a football field in an actual field, and you can be playing virtual football, running up and down the field, throwing balls. You can maybe be the quarterback, you can be the running back, you may be a blocker. It'd be hard to be a blocker, right? Because you're just there's only so much you can do, really. But you could be a guy that catches the ball, a guy that's run down sack. I mean, you can play football, you by yourself, one person versus 11 phantom players or with 10 AI players, and you're out there playing football, right? That's cool. You probably don't want to get too crazy with other players, because then you run your head into each other and you smash your expensive VR equipment. But there you go. Local positioning system. Obviously, if you have balls on the ground, you're running around with football, you slip on them. So you probably want to go with the painting option. Paint it down, paint the lines down. But this is very simple. This is the paint lines on it. Maybe you start with the balls and then paint the lines on the squares. Then you go pick up the balls afterwards. There's all sorts of things you can do with a local positioning system with drones, and the drones themselves set the local positioning up based off maybe a seed and know where to pick up the balls or the thing. And then let's just follow up with the gardening one. So we have a local positioning system. We have a grid thing, and what we do is you have some sort of thing that goes up on hooks and gives the seed, and you have some sort of device where it would maybe the drone would drop maybe a lawn dart from a certain height. It would drop so it would fall right in there and kick out a seed, and then it would pull it back up, and then it would be messy. This hardware stuff is not trivial hardware to solve, but it's doable hardware. And basically all you really need is a flying drone at this point. You have a flying drone running OpenCV, and you have to know how to do vision recognition. It's not hard. This is the most easy vision recognition to do, right? Is a big, large, colored object. It knows what it is. Everything, none of the color else anywhere else is. Large colored object there. We can find the center of it. Bingo, bango. That's easiest. I'm giving you the easiest use case, and it can give yourself a grid. And then it can suddenly, after it lays out its grid, then it knows its position locally to the grid. It's flying. The drone's flying overhead on this board and knows where you're at, where it's at, and then and it drops the seed. Then you can obviously have one that has a watering. You have you let your drone out. You could literally have a farm, you can have your own little, rustic farm. It would be like the Amish. You have an old rustic farm out in the middle of nowhere with robots. Doing your work, right? It's not hard. We live in inflation. I won't say who's causing the inflation. We live in an inflation period. Probably the people in the administration right now, but 2022. I don't know who's in the administration now. Probably not the same people going to be in 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with inflation, they want farming is good. You make some farming, you can sell these products. You can sell stuff you farm. But farming takes work. You know, basically, if you do this, you don't have to do much work except weed. You know, make sure you can weed it. Maybe people put like plastic down if they wanted to. But like this is not a simple task though. This is not a simple device. But like once you make this device, you can sell it. Lots of people, dude, like $500. All I have to do is hit go, and it seeds and waters for me. All I have to do is go and charge it daily, and then it goes does all my work for me. Dude, sign me up. There'd be a lot of farmers buying this product off you. And then it's like a little pet. Dude, this is a fun project to do, man. There's a lot of little problems. So like little problems we got going here. One, OpenCV on drone. Okay, so you get OpenCV running. You know, it's a programming language. Not programming, a programming library. And then you on the drone, you see like number one, you see, hey, can you see the drone? Can you see it colored sphere, right? You see a color sphere, and then B would be like, okay, so you see it. B, set 4 down. Can you calculate square? And then these are the number one thing. This is a task. Okay, you put an OpenCV on a drone. Tell square set 4 down. And C, you know, some way of picking setting. You know, serious. It would be hard. You know, maybe paint or something. But like once like that's the challenge. That's a hardware challenge and stuff. So picking up, setting down, you know, and then like once you do that, you make paint, do a whole grid, and then like maybe like no position, boom, LPS, local position, low cap position, local positioning system, right there. It's not hard to conceptualize, you know. It's hard to do. I'm not gonna say. Like I don't even want to open up OpenCV. I'm tired of learning other people's texts. I'm telling you, like a lot of people know how to do OpenCV. I could probably do it. I could learn how to do OpenCV if I wanted to. I got too many things going on. That's why I'm telling you guys that this is a hobby. Someone try it out. Can you see color sphere? Can you set 4 down? Can you make a whole grid? Then you know your position. Then like once you have your position, you have an LPS. And you can like make a gardening bot like this. Gaming bot for player, football game. You can play Doom. It can be monsters, you know. You see, look around an augmented reality, AR helmet, and then like what else you got? Yeah, local positioning system. What else can you do that's really fun? I don't know. You can come up with stuff. Lawn. We're talking about lawn mowing. So it could guide a ground-based lawnmower. The drone itself doesn't have to be a flying death machine, right? You can ground-based lawnmower. So like the local positioning system is huge. See, this is a huge technology. It's not out there right now. We don't have local positioning systems right now at this moment. So why don't you go out and code one? And it would require the drone to be in flight for it to work. The drone would have to be in the air to monitor, say like the AR football. Obviously, if it's going to be dropping gardening or guiding a lawnmower, it has to be in the air. If it has to, oh no, it doesn't have to. So it has to be in the air for the watch the football game, guiding another robot. And like I said, it has to be obviously in the air if it's going to be picking up and dropping stuff. So there you go. Local positioning system, guarding robot. Hope someone checks this out. Someone try this, dude. Like some university student could do this. Some alumni, you know, could do this. Anybody coding, you know a little bit of robotics, a little bit of hardware. You know, the people who are software with a little bit of hardware, they're dangerous, man. You know what I'm saying? They can make whatever they want to do. All right, take it easy, guys. And I just wanted to show you this one because like I don't have time for it. You know, I don't have time. I'm only gonna live so long, right? I'm in my 40s right now. I know how to make artificial intelligence as well. I said like all you really need to do is all you really need to have is vision recognition. If you know everything's around me, there's a punching bag here. Like the robot could like say like a robot had like a prod, right, or something like a forklift. You know, it could forklift and lift up this punching bag. It has to know where the punching bag's at. You know, you can't have a factory worker robot do anything in your factory if it doesn't know where everything is in the factory or stuff like that in the factory. Like I mean, so what they do is they paint up wall. Think of the wall targets. Like I said, these large colored balls. They put big X's on the wall, and it would know the forklift that sector and go to the next one. And that's the secrets they have in these Amazon warehouses and stuff. They think it's all secret and stuff. Everybody knows this is how you do it. You know, big large things. And you make the dictionary what objects you can look at bigger and bigger, and there's so based on what kind of like large obvious objects you can do. You know, some people use QR codes. I think that's too hard to read. You just want to make it really basic when you're first learning it out. So everything computer science knows already is all you need to know for like any robot you can conceptualize. Even research level robots, robots that do research on their own, robots that like try and conceptualize like tropes and stuff. You just like go with what it knows, and it like well, I'm going too far ahead of myself. But like say you want a robot that navigates to like does DoorDash for you, like a self-driving car, right? If a self-driving car has a problem, is it doesn't know what the environment is around it. It obviously can drive, brake, stop, but like say it goes in a weird situation where the roads kind of collapse and it doesn't know what it's looking at, it's gonna like freak out, right? It's like the 99% of like a self-driving car is easy to do. It's compared to like the last 1%. The last 1% is like 9,000 times harder than the first 99% of a self-driving car. And I worked on the first self-driving car at Carnegie Mellon doing research. So like I said, I know my stuff. But I was saying we're going to reel back to like AI. Everything you want to do, you want to make a bender robot, you know, some sort of robot that drinks alcohol and begs for money. Well, if it knew how to walk down the street, like where the sidewalks are and where like people were at, then you would jump and go down there. You know, we know how to like navigate a robot. We know A-star pathfinding. You know, we know how to do this, do that. We can have it do it. Sure, it's hard to make a robot, the hardware, blah blah blah. But like we conceptualize to do that. If you want to like have it look in a microscope, you know, it can like it has to know what a microscope is, how to like image off that. Use this camera down there. And like you can have it like do like kind of almost like research, you know, like so everything you want to do in robot. Like robots can be done with what we know of computer science. You want to give it a personality, you just give it weights. You know, like what action wants to do. Instead of like giving it commands, like a normal robot, you probably just want to give it commands. AI, do this, do that. Like Alexa, like turn the television on. You'd be like, hey, Bender, get me a beer. And we like, just go get your beer. It doesn't have a personality. But then you give it like some weights. Be like 50% of the time it drinks the beer when it gets to the Bender, give me a beer. Walks to the room, I jug your beer. Like, okay, you just gave it a weight. It's stupid, you know. But we have the ability to give like a robot's personality and such already. You know, it's a subset of computer science. People think, oh, natural languages, that's a hard thing to do, right? You know, how are we going to do natural language? The dictionary is really huge. But if you look at natural language, it really is just a programming language in itself. You just reduce natural language down into coding. Like, get me a beer, okay? Okay, they're saying, what do I have to get? You, I say me to the robot would be you. Get me a beer. Like I don't even drink, dude. I'm just using figure of speech. And we go, okay, where I get a beer? Beer locations are here. Okay, go to the fridge. Boom, here. And if the fridge isn't empty, it'd be like, all right, and we maybe ask you, hey, you want to go out to the store and get it? And then we get in the car, which would then he would say, drive me to the store, and then the robot car would do it. You know, it's just one step after another. We have that in a subset of computer science now. It just doesn't know what's around it, right? So this vision recognition, the ability to do this should be advancing AI. I'm going to do AI someday, like I said, but I only have so many things to do. I have an MMO I'm putting out the door, a Pokemon Go competitor I designed 9 years before Pokemon Go for kid, a Make-A-Wish friend of mine. He's actually cooler than me, and my aunt had cancer, gave me the idea, and I have a tabletop RPG. They say it's really fun. I play with people. It is really fun. It's actually online though, so it's better code than it's out there. So I got all these projects, and I'm like, if I'm 40 and I have like maybe like 70 years worth of projects, I'm obviously not going to get them all done. So someone go do this. I want to do this. I don't have time. God bless you guys. Love's the way. You have more time if you're loving, because you know hate leads to harm and harm leads to hate, and you know people are harming.